sometimes our kids are hurting, and sometimes our kids, get to a dark place, and as parents, we don't know. It's just always better to have firearms stored safely. So we know from research, right, that having the firearms stored under lock and key and the ammunition separate and under lock and key, that's the safest situation. It really doesn't have anything to do with whether you choose to own firearms or you don't, or whether your family hunts or whether you don't. It's really about just trying to do it all more safely. And I think it's really important that you take the time to understand why families choose to own firearms, what's the purpose for their ownership, and then think with them in a real respectful, problem-focused way about how to reduce the possibility for harm while also just really honoring and valuing their reasons for ownership. This has been a university community partnership from the beginning. It really was an iterative, hey, I think we really need to think about cultural tailoring. I think that there are communities in this country where we have to do this differently. We had a community advisory board in Marquette County 3 different times. We had folks from all over the county talk with us about how to have these conversations. What questions should we be asking? Who should be at the table? All of that input.
And they talked a little, but they listened a lot. And they were listening to members of our Marquette County Suicide Prevention Alliance and other partners. And I think that really showed the investment. It was an immediate take home for me. I mean, just anecdotally from living and working in this area so long, I know there's lots of firearms out there. I know we have elevated levels of suicide and that there's firearm injury here.
We took their ideas and turned with Sarah's help and ran these focus groups and key informant interviews where we asked really specific questions. We asked about messengers. We asked about what should the message say and what shouldn't it say? What kinds of messages are going to turn people off versus what kinds of messages are going to engage people and have them want to hear more.
Because of the way that they came to us as sportsmen and gun owners and said, we want you to be included in this conversation, then that made us feel like, hey, somebody does care what we actually want, what we actually are saying. Somebody does care about our message. And so when we teach the aspect of storage, it has to be in a location where if they're not an authorized user of that firearm, they have no way to get to that firearm. You don't want to be the one that has that guilty conscience that I did not do everything I could to keep that firearm in a safe location, and now it's been used in a way that somebody got hurt.
One of the things I was really proud of that we did with our Store Safely intervention was to really try to capitalize on elevating that pride and the hard work that happens in those communities to teach kids about how to handle firearms safely, really to value that, but also to bundle safe storage into their existing views about safety.
And I really hope that it is going to be able to build on what we know and then even help more. Programs can come out of it and we can really, get stuff across the country, in regards to this one in rural areas. But what I was able to learn from it personally is helping my community right now. And I think that's pretty exciting.